Hi everybody, I'm Carrie. I'm one of the lead product designers here at Advanced Design Studio. And today we're going to talk about what can impact your cabinet costs. We're going to visit our cabinet studio, which is right this way, where we display all the different cabinet lines that we offer here at Advanced Design. But today is really going to be about what parts of a cabinet impact that cost feature. So we're going to start out with that process with learning about cabinet construction. So cabinet construction, we have several different ways we can illustrate that here today. The first is being a full overlay door style. So here on this cabinet, you see a full overlay door, and that means that the door on the cabinet has about a 1/4 inch between the end of the door and the end of the cabinet box. It gives you more of a furniture feel to your cabinetry. This is an inset display, where the cabinet door actually sits on the interior of the face frame of the cabinet. That is a different kind of construction. We also have frameless and framed cabinetry. So frameless cabinetry is going to have just a cabinet box without a face frame. As you see here, it's a European style where you're going to have just the box frame on the inside, and that gives you some great access to that interior cabinet so that you can do things like roll out trays. You can do those in framed cabinets as well. You just get a little bit more space. Whereas a framed cabinet is going to have this 1.5 inch face frame that goes all the way around the front of the cabinet box, which is the traditional cabinetry that most people are familiar with today. A lot of my cabinet lines are going to offer a frameless or a framed version, and it's completely up to you which you prefer. There's a slight price difference depending on the line, but for the most part, it's up to you. Now we're going to talk about cabinet construction, which can greatly impact the cost of the cabinet, and that's what the walls of the cabinet are made of. So the cabinetry of 15 years ago was often made with a particle board product, which was not great quality and kind of fell apart, especially if it got wet under a sink base. But today, cabinets are made a couple different ways. One is a furniture board construction, which is a high quality product that is infused with resin that is very, very strong and sturdy, or a plywood construction option. Now, 15 years ago, when product was made with particle board, I would definitely recommend to my clients to upgrade to plywood construction. That cost is normally about 20 to 25%, depending on the cabinet line that you're working with. Today, with the advanced technology and how they have improved the quality of furniture board construction, I rarely feel that it is necessary to upgrade to plywood construction and absorb that extra cost into your product. So that's a great way to save. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is how we finish ends of cabinets. There's many ways to do that, and there's different price points for those different ways to finish a cabinet. And in our studio, we showcase each one of those options so that you can see what it will look like in your home and how much you want to spend for each piece of that. So any piece of cabinetry that is open to the rest of the room needs to be finished in some way or another. This cabinet here shows you an applied end panel on this side, where it takes a full door that matches the door on the front of the cabinet and places it on top of the edge of the cabinet to give it that beautiful finish. That is one option. The least expensive option is showcased on the other side of the cabinet. That is called a flush finished end. All of cabinetry will have a 1/4 inch reveal on the end of the cabinet here. This cabinet can be ordered with a skin applied in the factory so that that edge of the cabinet is flush with the side of the face frame of the cabinet and is finished, because normally the side of a cabinet is unfinished. So we need to make sure that we identify those ends and order those, and obviously those are all little upcharges for each cabinet piece. The other option is this here. This cabinet is showcasing an integrated end. So this is showing you the door of the cabinet integrated into the side of the cabinet door. It actually becomes the side of the cabinet with the same detailing as a cabinet door. That is going to be your most expensive way to upgrade that feature. So just to give you a real quick way to compare those two finished ends, this again is the integrated construction where the door is integrated into the side, and this is an applied door, which actually adds about a ½ inch to the end of your cabinet. The next option that we're going to talk about is how you finish the interior of your cabinet. Standard cabinetry is going to have a maple veneer interior on most cabinet lines. That's where you're going to see this light maple veneer on the interior of a cabinet. Most cabinet lines offer that as a standard feature. Now, one of the cabinet lines that we carry offers this feature. This is actually a walnut interior. It is a beautiful feature, and as you see, we have lit that up in the cabinet above where you can see that light showcasing that beautiful rich interior of the cabinet where the exterior is white. It can give you that two-dimensional feel. You can do that with a paint finish. You can have, if you have bookcase cabinets, obviously those would be painted on the interior. So a finished interior is an option on most lines and is an upgrade. And I also wanted to talk about glass inserts. So as you see, these two cabinets here offer different things on the top. One is a glass cabinet and one is a wire mesh, which is a fun new thing that we are doing. You can also put mirror in place of the glass in some of these cabinets if you want a little bit more privacy, so you don't have to keep everything just so perfect on the inside, but still give a different fun element to that. The next thing we're going to talk about is drawer construction. So standard cabinetry comes with what you call a slab drawer. That is featured here on this cabinet. The slab drawer is one flat piece of wood across the top of the drawer. Notice that the drawer front does not match the cabinet door style. What most people do today is upgrade to a 5-piece cabinet drawer front for that top drawer. And that means 5 pieces are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it will emulate the door style that you see below. This is a really good example showing you that it's slightly different than the cabinet door below because the drawer front doesn't give you enough room to actually give you the full width of this style on the cabinet door. This cabinet showcases a 5-piece drawer front as well, but it shows it on an inset option. I will also point out that on this cabinet, this is an inset as well as this cabinet above, but this is called a beaded inset. So it has this extra detail here that's actually in the cabinet front, and it gives it that extra little detail that can either grab some glaze, as in this beautiful hickory cabinet does, or just give you that little bit of extra detail if you're looking for a little bit of style into your cabinetry line. The next thing we're going to talk about today is interior cabinet components. These are all the fun organizational tools that make your life easy. They can add up, but some things are just crucial to your design, and we will talk about those as we're finalizing the design. This is an example of a beautiful hood that has a pull-out built in for spices. Another example of an interior component is this great Le Mans style corner cabinet. This is a blind corner that often you have dead space behind that you can't get to very easily. This cabinet offers a two-tiered pie pull-out that you can rotate, pull out, and have full access to everything on the interior of the cabinet. One of my go-tos for a lot of my clients. One of the last things to talk about today is how you can organize the interior of your drawers. This is one good example where you can have a built-in cutlery divider and a tilted spice rack built into the cabinet. There are also great cabinet dividers that you can do, tray dividers, lots of different things, and your designer should go over all of those with you. Most of them are offered through the individual cabinet lines, but there's also a couple extra companies out there that's all they do is make interior components, so you can find the right tool for your kitchen. So to wrap up our talk about what impacts your cabinet costs, today we're talking about the framed or frameless or inset cabinetry. We're talking about the door style, how you finish the ends of your cabinet, what kind of fun things you put on the interior of your cabinet, whether it's a finished interior or one of those components that helps you organize the things that are on the interior of your cabinet. And obviously the finish. So whether it's painted, stained, or any kind of rub through heirlooming that you may have on your cabinetry. Thanks for joining us today at Advanced Design. Again, I'm Carrie, one of the lead project designers here, And we hope you got a lot of information out of this that can help you on your remodeling journey. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.